Hello, everyone! Welcome to another Fantaskool video. So in this video, we are going to talk about the finance module and school fees management. As we all know, in order to access your system, you first need to go to www.fantaskool.com, which will take you to the home page. From the home page, you can now log into your account by clicking on My Account. Once you click on your account, you'll be required to enter your email and password in order to log in. Once you log in as an administrator, you will land on the administrative dashboard. When you look at your side navigation towards the left side, you'll see the finance option in the list of menu items. If you click on the finance dropdown, you're going to see several options in the finance section. You can see fee invoices, fee types, discounts, and payment methods. We're going to take a look at all of these one after the other from bottom to top, because the order in which we record transactions requires us to understand all of these chronologically, starting with payment methods. In Fantaskool, the payment methods section is simply where you manage all the various modes or methods of payment that you use in your school. This means the various ways that you use to collect payments from parents, customers, or for any financial transaction in your school. This is where you record all the methods of payment. It could be the cash method, it could be a check, it could be a bank account, it could be mobile money or electronic wallet payment methods. This is where you record all of that. Once you land on the payment methods page, you'll see a table. By default, the system comes with cash payment as one of the payment methods. You can delete this if you don't deal with cash payments, but the system comes with a default of cash payments because most financial institutions deal with cash transactions. On the table, you'll see the serial number of the payment method, the account name of the payment method, the bank name if it's a bank account, the account number, and the account type. If you want to add another payment method or another bank account, you just click on New Bank Account. Then you provide the name of the account, the bank name, the account number, the routing number, which is optional, and the account type, whether it is a checking account, savings account, or another kind of account. Once you do that, you can click on Create Account. These accounts that you are creating are actually payment methods that you'll be using to make or receive payments in your educational institution. Let's save it for payment methods, so now your new payment method will appear on this table. Discounts. Now we're going to move to discounts. The discount section is where you manage any kind of discounts that are applicable in your school or institution. In some institutions, administrators offer certain discounts to students for some transactions. An example of a discount could be a discount for early payments, which we call early payment discount. We also have another discount, which is the sibling discount. The sibling discount may apply to students who have other siblings within your academic institution. So you might want to offer a discount to parents who are paying for multiple children's school fees. The discount section is simply where you define all those discounts that are applicable in your school. If you want to add a discount or define a discount, you just need to click on New Discount. You provide the name of the discount. It could be Early Payment Discount, or Sibling Discount, or New Student Discount, for example. So this is a discount that applies to students that are new in your school. Once you provide a discount name, you can specify the discount mode. The discount mode is where you decide whether you want this discount to be applicable as a percentage or as a fixed amount. If it's supposed to work as a percentage, you select percentage. But if it's supposed to be a defined amount, you select fixed amount. If you specify percentage, the value you enter must be between 1% to 100%. But if it's fixed amount, you can provide any amount. We're going to choose percentage. Let's say the sibling discount is 10%. Once you do that, you just click on Create Discount to save the discount. This shows the information about our discount. The name is Sibling Discount. When we created it, when we updated it, the discount mode is percentage, and the default value is 10%. Each time we apply this discount to a particular amount, 10% will be reduced from that particular amount. If you go back to your discount page, you're going to see that the discount we created has appeared here on the table. You see the discount name, which is Sibling Discount. The mode is percentage, and the value is 10, which is 10%. Fee types. After discounts, we're going to take a look at fee types. The fee type section is simply where the administrator defines all the various fees that exist in the school, all the various fees that they charge the students. This could be tuition fee, library fee, transport fee, hostel fee, or any kind of fee that the academic institution charges students. This is where we define them. If you want to define or add a particular fee type, you just need to click on Add Fee Type. Once you click on that, you'll be presented with this interface where you provide information about that particular fee. The system helps you to enter the fee name. We can use tuition fee as an example. You provide the fee amount for that particular fee type. Let's say it's $150,000. This means that the school charges $150,000 for the tuition fee. Below, you're going to see another field that says Applicable Classes. This is where you specify to which classes this particular fee applies. All the classes where this fee is applicable. In some schools, some fees might be applicable only to junior classes. Some might be applicable only to senior classes, only to some sections or some specific classes. But if it is applicable to all the classes in the school, then you leave this empty. If it's applicable only to certain classes, then you specify the classes here. And we're going to see how this applies as we proceed in the video. Once you save, you can see the fee type appearing here. You see the fee name and fee amount. I'm going to add another fee type as well. Let's say this is library fee, and the library fee is $5,000. Once you save, you can see the information about your fee type. If I go to the table now, you'll discover that we already have two fee types in the system. We have the library fee type and we have the tuition fee type. You can see the amount that the school charges for each of these fees. This is how we define the various fee types. Fee invoices. The next thing after fee types is fee invoices. A fee invoice in Fantaskool is simply a document that summarizes all the fees that a student is supposed to pay for a given academic year, for the class or grade level where they are. It shows the total amount and all the various fees that the child has to pay for a particular academic year. This is a document that can be handed to the parents of the child so they can see what the school expects the parents to pay as school fees for the child. Once you click on Fee Invoices, you first land on this interface where you can see some metrics. You can see a metric here that says Total Receivable. This simply shows the total amount of money that the school is expecting to receive from students. You can see Total Paid. This is the total amount of money that has been paid so far by students for that academic year. You can also see Total Due. This is the amount of money that students still owe the school. Down here, we can actually see the table with the list of fee invoices that exist. You can also see a filter here, so you can choose to filter by session. You can filter by status, and you can also search for students. We're going to see how all of these work, but before we do that, we're going to first start by adding a fee invoice to see how it looks. If you look carefully at the top right corner of the screen, you will see that we have two buttons here. One which says Issue Fee Invoice, and the other which says Bulk Create Invoice, creating individual fee invoices. We're going to start with Issue Fee Invoice. You use this when you want to issue a fee invoice to a particular student. This creates a document that summarizes the fees that the student has to pay for the academic year for the class where they are. If you want to issue a fee invoice to a parent or to a student, you click on Issue Fee Invoice. Once you click on it, you're presented with this interface. This is the interface where you'll be able to specify the student to whom you want to issue the invoice. You can see that the system is asking you for the student information. In order to specify the student, you can start by searching for a student name. When you start searching, the system automatically looks for matches for students' names that match what you are searching. If the student appears among the search results, you select them. After specifying the student, you specify the class where the student is. That's the class for which they're paying the fees. You specify the academic year or academic session. You specify the issue date of the invoice. By default, the system picks the current date. And you also specify the due date, which is when parents are expected to pay. This is the latest date for parents to pay the child's school fees. After providing this information about the student, the class, and the academic year, you're going to see a table where you can see the list of all the fee types or fees that the student has to pay. These are automatically populated because we had defined all of these fees as being applicable to all classes. That's why they automatically populated after we selected the student. Since we said they are applicable to all classes, it means that these fees are also applicable to the class where the student actually is. As you can see, we have the library fee, and the amount is $5,000. We also have the tuition fee of $150,000. We have a column for the amount and a column for the net amount. This amount can be customized right on this interface in case a particular fee may be different for different classes in your school. For instance, in some schools, the tuition fee in the senior classes might be different from the tuition fee in the junior classes. This is an option that you can always customize in this interface, but if it is the same across all classes, you can leave it unchanged. The reason why we have a column for the amount, discount, and a column for the net amount is because in case the administrator would like to add a particular discount, the system can calculate the net amount after the discount has been applied. Applying discounts to fee invoices. Let's say the school wants to apply a 10% discount because this particular student has a sibling in school. Remember, we had created a discount called Sibling Discount under the Discount section. In case the administrator would like to apply that sibling discount, which is 10%, they just need to come under that particular fee type. So we want to apply 10% discount on the tuition fee. And then they click on Add Discount. Once you click on Add Discount, you have this pop-up that appears, and you select the particular discount that you want to apply from the list of discounts that you have defined previously. We want to apply the 10% sibling discount. Once you select the discount, the system automatically calculates the discount amount that will be deducted. The percentage discount is 10%. You can always customize this percentage right on this interface in case the discount value may be changed or the parents may be negotiating for a better percentage. You can always customize the percentage discount here. The discount amount that you specified during the definition of the discount was just a default amount, which can be customized even at the point of applying a discount. Once you set the discount, the system automatically calculates the discount amount. We're applying a 10% discount on $150,000, so we can see that the discount amount is $15,000. Once you do that, you come down here and you click on Apply Discount. The 10% discount has been applied to the $150,000 for the tuition fee. $15,000 has been deducted. That's why you can see that the net amount for the tuition fee that the student has to pay is now $135,000. If this sibling discount is applicable to all fees, then you just click on Add Discount on all other items to apply the discount. Saving fee invoices. Once you have defined the student and all the fee types and their amounts, then you can go back up here where you have these action buttons. You have a button for Save and Exit, which simply saves the invoice and takes you back to the list of fee invoices. Then we have Save and Print in case you want to save and print this invoice immediately. This is applicable in case the parent is with you and you might want to print immediately and hand them the invoice. You can also save and create receipt. This is applicable in case a parent would like to make a payment, which could either be an advance payment or a complete payment for the invoice immediately. We're going to go with Save and Exit for now. Once we come back here to the list of invoices, you now realize that the total receivable is $140,000 because we have issued an invoice. Our total paid is $0 because so far, no student has paid fees yet, and total due is $140,000. Coming down here, you can see the filter options. You might want to filter by a particular academic year. You might want to filter by a particular class. This is applicable in case you want to see invoices for students only for a particular class. You might want to filter by status to find out students who still owe money for a particular class. You can come here and filter by status. You can filter by due or paid. If you want to see those who are still owing, you can click on Due. You can also search for a particular student to see the status of their invoice, whether they have paid or they still owe the school some amount. You can also export this data. On your invoice table, you're going to see that there's an invoice, which we just added. We have the invoice number, the student name, the class, the total payable, the total paid, the balance due, and the status of the invoice. We see due here because the student hasn't paid any amount of money yet. So this student is expected to pay $140,000 to the school. Processing payments and creating receipts. If the parents of this child come, for instance, and they want to make a first installment of, let's say, $40,000 to the school, you just need to come to this invoice and click on the Receipt button, this green button that says Receipt. Upon clicking on Receipt, you can issue a receipt for the payment. It is actually a proof of payment document. Up here, this is where we enter the amount received from the parent. This parent wants to make a payment of $40,000, so the amount received is $40,000. Just below this field, you are going to see two buttons, a button that says Pay All and another button that says Auto Split. You use the Pay All button in case the parents want to pay all the complete fees at once. You use Auto Split in case you want to automatically split the amount received among the various fee types. If you want to do that automatically, you can click on Auto Split. But if you want to split the amounts manually, then you can come down here on this table where you have the various fee types and the amounts received, and you specify how much money is going for each fee type. We have received $40,000. If I want to automatically split, I can click on Auto Split. So the amount will be automatically split between the library fee and the tuition fee. $5,000 will go to the library fee, and the remaining $35,000 has gone to the tuition fee. If you want all the $40,000 to go to the tuition fee, then you can clear all of this up and put all the $40,000 there. This means the parent hasn't paid for the library fee, but made a $40,000 payment towards the tuition fee. You have the ability to specify the date of the receipt here. You specify the payment method. This payment method is coming from the payment methods that we have defined in our payment methods section. You can put any payment reference. This could be a payment transaction number in case the payment was done through a bank account. You also put the payer. The payer can be the name of the parent or the name of the person who handed you the money. This information will appear on the receipt. You also have the receiver, which is the person who received the money. This can be the bursar or any other staff member or administrator in the school that received the money from the parents. Once you have filled all of this, you can click on Save and Exit or Save and Print. If you want to save and print, you just click on Save and Print. Understanding the receipt. This is how the receipt looks. This is the payment receipt for the $40,000. The school information appears here, and down here we have the information about the payment details. The receipt number, the date, the person who paid, the person who received the money, the reference, the information about the student, and the class. This is the amount that we received. We also have the payment breakdown to show us where the money went to or how the money was allocated. The parent paid only $40,000 as partial payment or advance payment for the tuition fee. We can see here that we received $40,000, and this $40,000 was directed to the tuition fee. The total for tuition fee was $135,000, and $40,000 has been paid, so the balance remaining for the tuition fee is $95,000. The administrator can now print this receipt. We have room for the bursar to sign and stamp if they want to. You can see the date of the receipt here. Up here, we can either choose to print on an A4 document if you have a regular printer, or we can choose to print the receipt on a thermal receipt or thermal printer, which is a smaller sized printer. We have different layouts based on the kind of printer that we are using. If you go back to our list of invoices, we can now see total receivable is $140,000. Total paid so far is $40,000. This is because the student has made a payment of $40,000, and total due is $100,000. For this particular student, the total payable was $140,000. They've paid $40,000 so far, and the balance due is $100,000. Viewing invoice details. Now you can choose to view this invoice by clicking on the Options button that comes after the Receipt button. Upon clicking on View, you see information about the invoice itself. It summarizes all the various fees. You have the invoice number, the student name, the academic year, and the status. The status shows partially paid. You can see the balance, which is $100,000. This shows the amount of money that the school is still expecting to receive from the student. In the summary, you see the various fee types and their amounts. We have the library fee of $5,000 and tuition fee of $150,000. A discount of 10% was applied, and the net amount is $135,000 for the tuition fee. You can see the total amount payable, which is $140,000, total amount paid of $40,000, and balance due of $100,000. When you go down here, you can also see the history of payments. As parents make payments in multiple installments, the history of payments will appear here. Parents can pay in multiple installments over time. This is the receipt that we just issued, and it now appears here under the payment history. You can always come back at any time and print or view this receipt. The invoice itself can be printed by clicking on this print button here. You have the summary of the invoice with the school information, invoice number, class, student, academic year, registration details about the student, the issue date of the invoice, and the status of the invoice. It can be due, partially paid, or paid. You also have the breakdown of the items showing each item, the total amount, and the net amount in case discounts have been applied. Bulk Create Invoices. Aside from the button that says Issue Fee Invoice, we can see another button that says Bulk Create Invoices. The reason why we have this is because we understand that students of the same class are always likely going to pay the same amount of fees. And that's how it works generally in most schools. So instead of issuing invoices one after the other for all the students, we can issue them together in bulk for all students of a particular class at once to make life easy for the school administrator. If we want to issue bulk invoices, we just click on Bulk Create Invoice. You'll see this interface here where you specify the class for which you want to issue the bulk invoices. Once you select the class, all the students of that particular class will appear here. If you want to be specific about the students, you can select students individually. If you want to apply the invoice to all the students of the class, you click on Select All. Check this box and all the students will be selected automatically. If you want to create this invoice only for a particular section of the class, you specify the section. But if it applies to all the sections or departments of the class, you leave the sections field empty. You can specify the academic year, the invoice date, and the due date. Down here, you see the students which are selected, and then you have your various fee types with their amounts. Once you're satisfied, you can click on Create Invoices. This will create invoices for all the students because so far, we have registered 2 students in this particular class. So invoices will be created for the 2 students. If you go back now to our list of invoices, you can see that the total receivable has increased to accommodate all the students for which we have created invoices. You can now see the invoices for the students which we just added under the bulk invoices, making additional payments. Going back to our student who had paid $40,000, if the parent comes again and wants to make another installment payment, this time they want to pay the remaining $100,000 because we can see that this student still owes $100,000 to the school. We can come back to this student and click on Receipt. The parent wants to make the complete $100,000 payment. We can still choose to manually enter $100,000 or we can click on Pay All. This is just to make life easier for the bursar or school administrator. If they click on Pay All, the system will ask if you want to pay all the outstanding fees. This will clear all the fees. If you click Yes, the $100,000 will be automatically populated and distributed down here automatically. It shows $5,000, which was supposed to be paid for the library fee, so the $5,000 has been filled automatically. For the tuition fee, we had $135,000 originally, and we had paid $40,000 before. So after applying the 10% discount, we still needed $95,000. That's why $95,000 has been populated here automatically. Once that has been done, you need to select the payment method, add any reference, specify the person who paid, which is the name of the parent, and the person who received, which could be the bursar. Then you can click on Save and Exit. Once you do that, if you look at the invoice details now, you'll discover that the status has changed from partially paid to paid because the student has made the complete payment. You can see the payment history here. The parent started by paying $40,000 initially and then paid $100,000 later. You can see that the balance due here is 0 because all the fees have been paid. If you go back to our list of invoices now, you'll discover that for this particular student that has paid all the money, the status has changed from due to paid. Conclusion, that will be it for this video. In case there are any questions or inquiries, you can drop them in the comment section. If you would like us to make videos on any topics around school management, please drop them in the comment section because it is with your feedback that we know what kind of videos we need to create. Thank you, and I'll see you in the next video. Hello, everyone! Welcome to another